Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but you know what? I saw this video on YouTube and I thought, you know what? I figured I would make another video finally. And hopefully, you know, I'll be uploading, you know, at least 2 or 3 times per week, and hopefully I'll be more consistent. So, I saw this, the title of this video called Lies You've Always Believed About the Lord of the Rings. And since I am a Lord of the Rings fan, I thought I should react to this. So, let's get into it.
Thanks in part to the smash success of Peter Jackson's movie trilogy, The Lord of the Rings can now be easily counted among the most prolific and impactful cultural phenomenons of all time. Despite this, however, many fans of J.R.R. Tolkien's legendary tale continue to believe a number of misconceptions about the story's world and characters. Here are a few lies you might still believe about The Lord of the Rings and Middle-earth in general. What it means to be a wizard. Okay, so Gandalf is actually technically a wizard, but he's not the kind you might be used to. He's not a wizard in the sense that, say, the kids at Hogwarts are wizards. He didn't show aptitude for magic as a child and go to wizarding school and learn spells from a dusty old book. No. Gandalf is less of what you consider a wizard and more of what you'd consider a demigod. The Valar are essentially the pantheon of gods in Tolkien's universe. It was they who sent Gandalf to Middle-earth from Valinor, along with Saruman, Radagast, and 2 other wizards who never really showed up in any of the books.
Okay, so this I actually already knew. Gandalf is actually a Mayor or a Maiar, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. So yeah, he basically helped form the world.
And the aptly named Sir not appearing in this film. These wizards originally existed as beings called Maiar, who
there you
acted
go.
as servants to the Valar. Before being sent to Middle-earth, they were made to look human and given magical and physical abilities beyond those held by normal men or even elves. They had existed on Middle-earth for thousands of years prior to the events of The Lord of the Rings as well. That's why they're so knowledgeable about the world. Gandalf's status as Maiar is also why he's resurrected after his fight with the Balrog. It's not some wizard spell which brings him back, but the will of the Valar themselves. Denethor's villainy. In Peter Jackson's Return of the King, Denethor is portrayed as a vengeful and cowardly madman who acts largely as an antagonist to Gandalf and Faramir during the Minas Tirith storyline.
Authority is not given to you to deny the return of the king, Steward. Rule of Gondor is mine!
In the novel, however, Tolkien makes it clear that Denethor wasn't driven mad by a lust for power or fear of war. Instead, Denethor was tormented by an outside influence, a Palantir. The Palantir are the magical orbs once used by the elves as a means of communication and wielded in The Lord of the Rings by Sauron, Saruman, and Denethor. Prior to the events of the trilogy, Denethor had begun using his Palantir in an attempt to ferret out information which he'd use in the war against Sauron. Instead, Sauron's own influence on the Palantir slowly drove him mad. The notion that Denethor lost his mind trying to save his people brings a whole new level of tragedy to his character, something which is never really made clear in Peter Jackson's trilogy.
Yeah, because I mean, he's just shown as this guy who's like, he basically hates his, not hates, but like he doesn't see his second son as, you know, that great compared to his first son, you know? And so you just think, wow, this guy's kind of a, you know, a D word. But yeah, this kind of shows that, you know what, he's actually been driven mad. I actually didn't know this. This is crazy.
Of men. Peter Jackson's adaptation of The Lord of the Rings might give you the impression that Gondor and Rohan were the only flashpoints in the end stages of the War of the Ring. But this is far from true. The reality is briefly alluded to in the extended edition of Return of the King, but the movie leaves out most of the details.
Kinsman may allow me to write a will. I feel already much is on my hands.
The appendices to The Lord of the Rings make it clear that while Sauron's army was laying siege to Minas Tirith, the elves, dwarves, and other men of Middle-earth were attempting to defend their own lands against invasion. Sauron's armies at Dol Guldur attempted to invade Galadriel's realm of Lorien 3 times, but failed. Meanwhile, Thranduil, king of the Wood Elves, was waging a largely successful war against the orcs in Mirkwood. The men of Dale weren't quite as lucky. Sauron's armies attacked the city during the Third War and thoroughly overwhelmed its defenders. The survivors took shelter in the Lonely Mountain with their dwarven allies and just barely held out under siege before the ring was finally destroyed. King Brand of Dale, the grandson of the hobbits Bard, was killed during the battle, as was the dwarven king Dane Ironfoot. Hobbit feet. At some point in time, it became an unquestionable fact that hobbit feet aren't just hairy and tough, but are also disproportionately large. The truth is, however, that Tolkien never wrote anything about hobbit feet being particularly big.
Oh, wow.
In the Fellowship of the Ring, hobbits are described as having tough, leathery soles and being clad in a thick, curling hair, but no mention is made of their size. Sean Astin, who plays Samwise Gamgee in Peter Jackson's movie adaptations, appears to have been in favour of a more faithful interpretation of hobbit feet. On the special features for the extended edition of The Fellowship of the Ring, Jackson revealed that Astin, frustrated at the time it took to apply the hobbit's foot prosthetics, kept him up to date on his personal tally of how many days the prosthetics were applied versus how many days the feet appeared in shot.
I actually did see the behind the scenes on the DVD where Sean Astin was talking about how long the hobbit feet actually take to apply. You know, they have to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So it's kind of like, you know, why even have that if it's not even in the books? But then I guess it kind of gives character, I guess. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, I did learn some new stuff from this video. Some stuff I already knew. So yeah, anyways guys, let me know down in the comment section what you thought about that. And also let me know what to react to next. And I will get to it. And until then, I will see you in the next video.